Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Attorney John Deaton, who of course is the attorney seeking to intervene in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit on behalf of roughly 19,000 XRP holders, he's issuing a warning. Frankly, the SEC, after this lawsuit between Ripple and the SEC is complete, they're coming after cryptocurrency exchanges next. And mind you, they think almost all cryptocurrencies are securities. Better watch yourselves. It's not going to be a fun ride for the coming X number of years for pretty much anybody operating in the crypto space. Now, the good news for Ripple, at least since they're first in, they'll be first out, right? I mean, they're not literally first. Other entities have gotten sued, but you get the cut of my jib, right? So I want to highlight comments from a president of a United States-based cryptocurrency exchange exactly on this. And John Deaton, watch the clip that I'm going to be sharing with you, the comments from it. And I want to share with you what John Deaton had to say with this. And then there's also this article, which is the perfect tag-along. Here's the headline from the Daily Hodl. SEC chairman says DeFi projects have a lot of centralization. Warns they won't reach full potential outside regulatory laws. And so there you go. Gary Gensler running the SEC. He is the chairman, having replaced asshat Jay Clayton. He's like Jay Clayton, but perhaps worse, because he's really gunning right now. But I want to be clear at the outset, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos as a hobby for fun. That's all that's going on here. And so here is the Twitter page for Brett Harrison, and he is the president of the cryptocurrency exchange I was referencing just a moment ago, FTX US. And he was interviewed on CoinDesk's platform right here. And he had this really, I think, well-articulated number of concerns that I'm going to highlight here within this video clip. And so I actually went ahead and transcribed this thing. And so I got some comments I want to share about what he had to say as well. But yeah, his concerns are hitting the nail on the head. And John Deaton knows that as well. And so here's what Brett stated. The biggest thing affecting any U.S. exchange right now is the question of what tokens one can list on the platform. As you may know, if you want to offer securities to investors, well, number one, you have to be a registered securities exchange, and two, the securities themselves have to be registered securities. You can't offer unregistered securities to unaccredited investors. So let me pause right there. A couple things that went through my mind. Can you imagine being the president of a cryptocurrency exchange and saying anything publicly, knowing if you even slightly misspeak, then it's going to come up at some point in the future via a lawsuit, and it's going to be discussed in court? Like the degree to which you have to tiptoe, I imagine that might be a little bit intimidating here. Now, in terms of accredited investors, it's funny this topic is coming up now because I also recently put out a video. I was talking about how a fellow XRP YouTuber went ahead and purchased Ripple the company with XRP. So I won't get into all the specifics because I don't want to rehash my own video. You should watch that though if you've not, because that was just a fun time to talk about. But in order to do that, in order to buy Ripple the company on secondary markets, because Ripple the company, like that is a security if you're buying that, you have to be an accredited investor. And so yes, even though it can be listed for sale, you, the exchange operating, you have to be allowed to do that. You have to get accredited. You have to register with the SEC, and then you can only sell to those people that are accredited also to purchase the securities. And so they have to be registered, and the threshold's really high. So almost the entirety of your customer base would go away if you could only sell registered securities. Everything goes away. Your volume drops, and you cease to exist. So that is what's at stake here. So rather than the free market figuring out which cryptocurrencies deserve to have long-term viability, the government seeks to just make something so by decree. Now, in the case of cryptocurrencies, if they're sufficiently decentralized, it's global. The SEC can't just come in and make something stop existing, but they can certainly ruin the adoption in the United States, and even globally, you can really hamper the adoption for some period of time. So it's just really messy. Even if you're outside the United States, what the asshats at the SEC have been doing, like you have to deal with that too, even if you're not in the United States, and it's unfortunate. And so then Brett continues, and he said the following. Now, the question is, of course, which ones of these actual spot tokens really represent securities and which ones don't? And moreover, who has the jurisdiction and what jurisdiction to decide what exactly is a security and what isn't? And so one thing that we're seeing coming out of Gensler and conversations between he and Senator Warren and, the bill that's entering the House now is showing us that there's definitely going to be, decisions on the horizon in terms of which agency has jurisdiction over these spot tokens. And so think about this. Think about the confusion he's describing right now, yet the SEC insists it is all clear, and here is a legitimate, honest player, by all accounts, as far as I know, certainly, just trying to operate, running a legit business with employees so that they can take care of their families, and you have the SEC insisting that the problem that's being cited here doesn't exist. That is not helpful. That's why I keep saying, these people are not good. They know that what they're saying is not true, and they're not interested in the truth. It doesn't matter if it harms you. They don't give a damn. They frankly don't give a damn. And I'm disgusted by it, frankly. I mean, especially ever since, I've always been bothered by it, but ever since you saw the actual financial ruin to XRP holders, endless numbers of XRP holders in the United States, but also the world over. Yeah, absolutely. And so there's all sorts of people that don't understand the implications of all this. Here's a tweet in response to that from somebody named Ravi Rana, who wrote, "Just stop listing scam centralized projects." And so this individual here, nothing against them personally, but clearly doesn't understand the scope of the problem. That is not how it works. And I wrote the following. The SEC thinks almost all cryptocurrencies are securities. Chairman Gensler has made that clear. Should exchanges delist everything but Bitcoin? That's a legit question I had there, seriously. Because that's basically what it would come down to. That is really what it would come down to. And so then somebody else wrote this, Crypto Mark. This should be very straightforward. Even Gary Gensler has said the legal status of which cryptos are securities or non-securities is very clear. So here's another, nothing against this individual either, but this person doesn't understand that it's not clear. This person has a misunderstanding. You just take Gary's word for it. Gary is lying. And I use that word intentionally. I don't say he's misspeaking. I say that he's intentionally deceiving. He knows better than this. He knows this is not the case. He knows better than anyone because he runs the SEC. He is lying on this topic. And so I wrote the following. Gary knows that's not true. This depends upon the four-pronged Howey test. In particular, what constitutes a common enterprise is not clear. It has to do a lot with how decentralized a cryptocurrency is, and the SEC has offered no guidance on this. Yeah, and so as far as the four prongs, one of them being, is there a common enterprise? You could say, well, yeah, that's been drafted and it's been executed in law since 1946 with the Howey test. Okay, so then where are the specifics about what institutes a common enterprise? Because here's the thing. If something is a common enterprise, it depends on how centralized or decentralized it is. Where's the guidance from the SEC that indicates what is too centralized or sufficiently decentralized? Folks, spoiler alert, it doesn't exist. And so for Gary to sit there and say that there's sufficient regulatory clarity, he is lying to you. He knows it. Here's what John Deaton had to say about that, Attorney John Deaton. Every exchange in the United States should be hoping that Ripple and XRP holders are successful in defeating the SEC's claims that XRP is a security. If today's XRP is deemed a security regardless of who sells it, most crypto assets are in jeopardy, including, potentially, Ether. Truer words have never been spoken, exactly, which is why I'm so thankful John Deaton's doing the work he's doing and speaking out consistently against this. Things are getting traction. There's all sorts of stuff in the works here. And I wanted to touch on this article, too, from the Daily Huddle. SEC chairman says decentralized finance projects have a lot of centralization, warns they won't reach full potential outside regulatory laws. And so where's the path forward? You know what the answer is, right? It's just regulate through authority, through lawsuits. That's it. Sue everyone into oblivion and then try and make sense of the results of those court cases. That's what they're doing. It's disgusting. Chairman of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, Gary Gensler, is issuing a warning about the potential risks associated with the decentralized finance sector. In an interview with Fox Business, Gensler says that while he and the SEC remain neutral on the innovative technology involved in Bitcoin and decentralized finance, he is concerned about the risks that the sector poses to investors. He argues that some decentralized platforms, quote, actually have a lot of centralization, end quote, and that crypto projects should register their products with the regulatory agency. Now think about this. This is outside, just decentralized finance, general concept, outside the purview of the SEC. But they're finding ways to try and make this stuff fit with particular types of sales and this and that, all while not providing sufficient regulatory clarity. And all while there are people I've been highlighting on this channel recently at the CFTC that say, no, the SEC, no, this is not under their purview. And here's another quote from, this is Ginzer, I believe here. We focus on investor protection. We're neutral about technology, Bitcoin, and the other crypto tokens and their innovative technologies, but at the same time, we're not neutral about investor protection. So if somebody is in a project that's offering a security, they should come in, they should register. So think about this. They're saying, even, because think about this, you understand what that means. Even if you go in to register, and I don't even know how the hell that would turn out, you're not going to be able to get your project, say you're somewhat centralized, you're not going to have a path forward to get your project decentralized so that you would no longer be considered a common enterprise, which is important for many applications. There is no path forward here, folks. Do you see what we're talking about here? And then as far as DeFi said, this field is not going to reach any of its potential if it tries to stay outside of our laws. Our money laundering laws, our tax compliance laws, and what we focus on at the FCC, investor protection. And so, I'm all about operating solely within the rule of law. I am all for that. The problem is there isn't clarity, and they're pretending that it is. These people are destroying the most vibrant growth sector on the planet, frankly, just blockchain and crypto. I'll wrap up there, though. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.